Washington was bracing for a white nationalist rally on Sunday organized to coincide with the anniversary of last year's racially charged violence in Charlottesville, Virginia. The "Unite the Right to" event was scheduled to take place at 5:30 p.m. 2130 GMT in Lafayette Square, across the street from the White House. Several counter-protests have also received permission to gather nearby. Sponsored authorities have promised an enormous police presence to keep both sides apart and avoid the street brawls that broke out last year in downtown Charlottesville. A local woman, Heather Hyerth, was killed when an Ohio man, James Fields, drove his car into a crowd of counter-protesters. At the time, President Donald Trump said there were "very fine people" on both sides, spurring criticism from across the political divide that he was equating the counter-protesters with the rally attendees, who included neo-Nazis and other white supremacists. On Saturday, Trump condemned all types of racism in a Twitter post marking the anniversary. In Washington on Saturday evening, nearly 24 police officers patrolled Lafayette Square. Members of the Washington chapter of Black Lives Matter were sprinkled through the park, seemingly standing on guard. Organizers of In Charlottesville, hundreds of police officers maintained a security perimeter around the normally bustling downtown district on Saturday. Vehicular traffic was barred from an area of more than 15 city blocks, while pedestrians were allowed access at 2 checkpoints where officers examined bags for weapons. Hundreds of students and activists took to the streets on Saturday evening, as a rally planned for the University of Virginia campus turned into a march through the city. Many of the protesters directed their anger at the heavy police presence, with chants like "Cops and Klan go hand in hand," a year after police were harshly criticized for their failure to prevent the violence. Earlier on Saturday, a group of anti-fascist protesters walked through the downtown area, holding signs with messages like "Good night, white pride." But the day was largely free of confrontation, and rumors that white nationalists plan to return to Charlottesville on Saturday turned out to be unfounded. Authorities had arrested 3 people by early evening, all for minor offenses.